Hello and welcome to week 12 in biopsychology, and we're taking on two chapters. First is sexual behavior or reproductive behavior, and the second was an emotional behavior. So looking first at chapter 11, when we talk about this without getting into what would really be considered a human sexuality class, which is under development, reproductive behaviors, we're going to spend some time in the discussion looking at the biology of gender and sexual orientations, scraping the surface of that connection between biology and the social constructs of gender and sexual orientation, and some linking to what are cultural norms. This is not pure biology anymore. This is a mix between the factors of biology interacting with factors in our social world. In the quiz, what I'm going to have you look at is sort of a developmental perspective, and that is the effect of hormones, often associated with sexual behavior and growth and all of those things, is understanding that hormones have two different functions over the lifespan. First is an organizing function. Hormones present in utero and in the early parts of life communicate with the body in terms of the organization of the brain, the actual sexual organs, and the actual external physical representations of someone's sex. In addition, throughout that time and then later in life, things might be organized the way they are, but hormones continue to have an activating or an initiating effect on our bodies, having to do with sexual behavior. So it's getting into some questions about those particular processes of hormones. We then switch over to emotional behaviors, highly impacted by hormones as well. However, the discussion is going to focus on stress, the emotional experience of being overwhelmed, and its effect on another part of our human system, and that is our immune system. Individuals that maintain a lifestyle that's very stressful have a tendency to have more illnesses and diseases and whatnot, both short-term and long-term. So let's get into that discussion about the relationship between stress and your immune system. Maybe you have personal experiences that relate to when you've been really, really busy, that's when you get a cold and how inconvenient that is, that sort of discussion. And then in the quiz, this is very much a critical thinking question, and the answers vary depending on the logic that you use. We understand there's a visual pathway. We're just going to look at the visual pathway for this. The dorsal and ventral pathways of vision. I want you to look at those brain structures. And as we process information in our visual system, looking at that pathway, I want you to make a logical connection between that pathway and the variety of theories that we have that explain emotional experience. Sometimes there's a sequence of things, and does that sequence match what we understand in terms of the visual pathway? So what is the order of operations here from initially seeing something? Let's analyze how that information is being processed in the brain and speculate based on the rough biology, which one of those theories that I present in terms of emotional expression best matches the biological evidence. So that will be a quiz that you have to answer that. The quest here is to be logical, is to use the information to come to a conclusion. Because I'm going to tell you, there's no absolute correct answer. So what I'm looking for is the logic in it. I'm not looking for, oh, you got it. That's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for is an argument that says, this is the best theory of emotion based on my understanding of the visual pathway. There are other pathways that contribute to our emotional experience. So this is not the only thing, but we're just going to isolate vision, look specifically at that. You have no other data except visual information. For you're reading a book and you see a picture. There's no anything else that's going on as additional information. Well, there always is, your memories and your consciousness and all that. ride with it. Just focus on visual information, the pathway, in order to justify which theory of emotional experience do you believe fits that model. And that's it. We have a couple chapters, things going on here. We're heading toward the end of the semester. You folks are doing really, really good. We're past that 2/3 area. We're getting into kind of the home stretch for the class here. End strong. Get into these discussion boards. Get everything done. And we'll have a great ending to the semester in the next few weeks. So be well, and I will see you next time.